Welcome to Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance, where we uncover the powerful truth about your beginnings and how they've shaped your entire life. I'm Shannon O'Flaherty, and in this show, we are not just exploring your birth, we are dismantling the chains of generational trauma. We're diving into the core of who you are, peeling back layers of inherited beliefs and behaviors that have held you back for far too long. This isn't just about understanding your past. It is about reclaiming your future. Get ready to break free. This is Beyond Birth Trauma, From Burden to Brilliance, and your transformation starts now. Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Shannon O'Flaherty. Thank you for joining us live today. And today I'm sitting down with Julie Tara, a good friend, a healer, a mentor, and someone who's lived the pattern so many of us know too well, pouring your life into healing others while struggling financially yourself. And we're talking about why healers don't have to choose between purpose and prosperity. It's not either or, it's both and building a global community of healers thriving in body, mind, spirit, and finances. We're going to talk about light, quantum physics, and the power of the invisible. A quick peek at what's new and growing now in 90 countries. After Julie's professional career in ballet, in the Royal Ballet and Dutch National Ballet, the circus, and mothering her 3 children, she opened a natural healing retreat center in the heart of Colorado Rocky Mountains. She joined Nikken, a wellness company in the network marketing industry, in 1995, developing a multi-million-dollar business in over 24 countries within 4 years. Julie is now passionately building an international business in regenerative medicine with LifeWave, a company that has invented a powerful photobiomodulation technology to stimulate stem cell activation in the body with extraordinary results. She is an executive leader with business in over 13 countries and is more inspired now than ever before to bring the future of safe and effective energy medicine to the masses. Along with being an international entrepreneur and national health coach, Julie is also a published author, inspirational public speaker, podcast creator, and life success coach. Julie, I'm so happy to have you here with me today.
Oh, thank you, Shannon. It is my absolute pleasure to be with you. I've been really looking forward to our time together.
Well, we met 100 years ago during Nikken. I think I had joined to sell some of those health products, also magnets and infrared, when whatever all of that was about back in those days. And then Nikken went out of business, and you were doing quite well with all of that. So what happened? What happened when all of that kind of went away?
Yeah, well, it was a very interesting time because my whole life since ballet has been devoted to healing. And we can go back and talk about why, because of your intro there, and what, getting beyond our childhood and what we learned and what we were told as well, the indoctrinations of that. And and so when I started with Nikken, it was very exciting to me because I was always interested in the unseen, the invisible, and energy medicine. And what was that? And why does that affect us? And epigenetics, which was actually discovered in I think it was the 40s in Cambridge, where I come from, Cambridge, England. And the fact that genes morph and change according to the environment they're in. So it's like, oh, it's about the environment. What kind of environment do we create so that our body, mind, spirit thrives? So Nikken was really talking a lot about that with magnetics, the Earth's energy field, and then far infrared technology, which nobody was talking about far infrared at that time. Now we hear about light technology everywhere, red light, and all the things, right? And infrared is spoken about a lot, but we were talking about this in the 90s, right, mid 90s. So it was working with that, which was the light. So we could call it, fire energy, and then water energy, which of course water is critical for us. So we're looking at the elements, right? Earth, air, fire, water. And air was another element that they were speaking about, and negative ions and why those made us happy, the happy, sort of effect, happiness effect. There's actually a book called The Happiness Effect about negative ions. So I was like, this is fabulous. So I loved teaching about that. I never think in terms of selling, but I love teaching and educating people about health and, what we need to make sure we are getting. And so that was fabulous, and it did go brilliantly. And then they started closing the countries where my business was really flourishing, which was mostly in Europe, England, of course, Europe, but also Eastern Europe, Russia, Israel, Hungary, Bulgaria, many, many, many countries, Kazakhstan. And those people really, they were all about it. I'll tell you, it was the most joyful thing to go to Russia, because they were like, we know about infrared technology, we know about magnetic technology. I'm like, you do? You're so much, more advanced in this than the Western thought, thinking is going on. So I loved going over and teaching in all these places, but it started closing down for various reasons, company choices and all that. And then finally Europe closed down completely, Western Europe. And then I was like, okay, it's time for a shift. Now, I am a big dreamer. I dream a lot. It is the way the universe talks to me, mostly, consistently. And so I had already been dreaming for a while that things were not going to go well in that company. But you see, I was so loved teaching about the technologies. I so was overly devotional, and it's one of the things I've had to learn is like, be devotional to the spirit, to the divine, but don't be over devotional to a person or a thing or a company.
Shamanically, we talk about non-attachment, really, so that
Yes,
life and everything can come through us, but that we're a vessel for whatever feeds through us, whether it's a brilliant idea or love or anything, but none of it is ours. It's all
right.
ours, and none
I
of it is
love that.
ours.
I love that,
Yeah.
Shannon. That is so true. It's all ours, and none of it is ours. And I'm very much a nomad. I'm like, the land is not ours. We don't own the land. I've always connected to the Native American traditions, and most of my dreams are shamanic. Most of them are animals come. They come, and it's fantastic, and they're teachers for me. So I take a lot of regard to that. But I was overly devotional to the company, to those technologies, and I didn't know where else to find them. So that was my learning. Was I stayed too long when the whole universe was telling me it's time to move and shift. And I'm a dancer. I love to move, but I wasn't. I was stuck. And I think that can happen to all of us, whether it's a marriage that, has really had its day, or
People stay too long because they don't want to be a
long.
quitter. All those messages from childhood, right? If you never
Yes.
finish anything, you're always, these are my messages. You never finish anything, you're always going on to the next thing. I'm like, well, it's all kind of part of the same thing. But
Yes.
whatever your triggers, your underlying triggers are, you're going to, yes,
Get
get
stuck there.
locked into that kind of
Hmm.
stuckness. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Shannon. It's so true. All the things we learned. And it is a lot about breaking the chains of the past, of conditioning, and moving forward and being brave. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be brave, and you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. You are. It isn't, I've never met an entrepreneur who consistently wins all the time.
No, it just doesn't work
It's
that
a
way.
flow, right? Life flows. And so I had done so well with that company. I was at the top of the company, the fastest woman to get to the top of the company, and all the things, had a lot of accolades, all the things, had a lot of money, made millions, helped others make millions. And then it just kind of fizzled. And I was like, but why? Why? It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This
No.
is too good, too good. But
That's a
that's what
hard
happened.
one to overcome. I think that's actually a limiting belief system that stops people from trying to be financially secure in the first place, is that it's something around they'll have too much to lose, right? So
Yes.
it stops them before they've even started. And right there, you're living proof of having it all. And then it all like in front of your eyes, where is this going?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like
So,
quicksand or something, like
so
the never ending story, which is one of my
how did
favorite stories.
how did you hear about LifeWave then?
Well, so what happened is I went into this, I called it, it's like a no man's land, but really a no woman's land as well. I was just lost and I was like, okay, I'm lost and I'm scared. And what do I do now? So I started just going more and more into nature, which I've always done, but more and more into nature, started, really meditating, praying, chanting. I asked my friend, tell me the Nam Myoho Renge, I'm going to do that. And I was doing it all. And the interesting thing, Shannon, you would love this, is that one morning, I sent a prayer out to Shiva. Don't ask me why, Shiva. I'm not a Hindu. I'm not a Christian. I'm not of any religious, organized religious, sect. I'm very Celtic. I'm very much about the land. Give me Merlin any day. I have, in fact, I have Excalibur right here. Yeah, Excalibur
You
is
never
always by
know
my
that
side.
from an Andy.
There you go. And so but I put this prayer out to Shiva. And then I went to meet a friend who I was going to see if I could start working with him again with a company called Gaia, which is a transformational video company worldwide. And I'd worked with them before and I had enjoyed it a lot. And I was like, maybe I should go back there. You kind of have this thing, maybe I'll go back to the thing I know. And I was sitting there and we were chatting and I said, let's do something together. I know I can really help this company grow. And so we were chatting, but there was a gentleman in the corner with two dogs and very interesting dogs, like temple dogs. And I had said hello to the dogs in my heart and beforehand. And then he was there. And then he walked over and he suddenly he just put in front of me an image of Lakshmi, right? The goddess of abundance. My friend James says, that's Lakshmi. I'm like, yep, that is Lakshmi. All right. So anyway, we carry on talking. He ends up leaving. I go over to the gentleman in the corner and he stands up and I said, how did you know? That's all I said. How did you know?
You're giving me chills. I love these stories.
Yeah. And you know what I meant. Like, how do you know I'm scared out of my wits? And I don't know how to shift things. I'm in a no woman's land. He just looked at me and he said, I am Shiva. And I stared at him and I said, I prayed to Shiva this morning. And he said, my dogs are temple dogs. If you've made friends with my dogs, they'll be with you forever. They will guard you and protect you. And he just let me know that everything was going to be all right. Everything was going to be all right. So that was huge. He talked about the divine feminine. He talked about the energetics. He talked about, I couldn't even tell you all the things he said in them because I was kind of like gobsmacked, I was like
receiving a download in real time
in real
from
time
either
with a
a
being
real or a spiritual being. Yes. Yeah.
who was, looked
Real.
like a normal man. But when I looked at his
Yeah.
eyes, when he said, I am Shiva, I looked straight in his eyes because I was like, you better be telling me the truth, and
Well,
he was.
I have met Earth, I call them Earth angels.
Yes,
They're not technically that, but other beings who take the form of humans who are on Earth but are clearly in one way or another, to me anyway, energetically, because I see energy, not
yes,
human,
yes,
and have
yes,
some other kind of thing going on. And it is, when you're meeting somebody like that,
yes.
because it's unlike anything else you've experienced. Yeah. So
That's
I feel
absolutely
very
right.
blessed, like you, to have met some earth angels in my life.
Oh,
Hmm.
me too. Such a blessing. And I walked out of there. I never walked back in. The cafe was called Wonder, and I was in wonderment. And I was like, everything's going to be all right. And so I had been looking for things, and LifeWave had started showing up in odd ways. Suddenly, a Facebook thing here or an Insta thing there, or just somebody would mention something in a comment. Oh, have you tried these patches? And I'm like, what are they talking about? And I had sort of heard of it a little before, but I had vetoed it because it was to do with a patch and it looked so innocuous to me and so silly that I was like, there's nothing, can't be anything to this, you know. And I'm wearing the patches now, but they're on the back of my neck, but I'll show you what they look like. And this is the sleeve of X39, and
I
this
don't
is
have
what,
mine in front of me. I
yeah,
have it on. So
yes, on the back of your neck. I have two right here on the back of my neck. You can see them, I don't know, but I
they're
love
all
them.
over.
They're
I
all
got
over.
patches everywhere.
Exactly. But I had heard of it and thought, oh, this is kind of silly. And that's weird for me because I had worked for so long with invisible frequencies. So it was
Mhm.
odd that I wasn't ready for it, I think, because, I look back and I was like, well, why wasn't I paying attention earlier? But I wasn't. And so no blame or shame on that, but just interesting. And so then I started putting pieces together and I started studying online. Okay, who's this company? And I knew because I wasn't born yesterday that I'm going to be 70 this year. I'm so excited.
Are
I'm
you
like,
really?
the
You are
70s are
looking good on it, girl.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I feel fabulous. I feel really fabulous. So, but yeah, I was just putting the pieces together, and thought, well, if this is something I might be interested to do as a business, as an entrepreneur, a lot of things have to add up for me because I've been in the industry of networking for 30 years, and I know what I know, and I know what to look for and what not to look for, what I don't want. And so I started studying all the aspects. And obviously the technology is one, is it exclusive? Can you get it anywhere else? No. Does it work to other clinical studies done, double blind studies, peer reviewed, all the rest? Yeah. Yes. Who's the owner? Who's the inventor? Do I,
David
do
Schmidt.
I like him? Do I resonate? All the things. Is it
Right.
privately owned, not publicly traded? Is it at least, you never want to touch a company that's less than 5 years old because most of them go out of business, even with a good product. So,
Right.
I
Right.
was looking at
Right.
that and going, no, I don't want anything brand new. Oh, this is a legacy company, is 20 years old. It was 19 at the time. It's 22 now. And I was like, oh, these things are adding up. And then what's the growth curve? What's the momentum, right? So when and I'll tell you how I joined and so forth, but the momentum was definitely on a trend. It was going up. It was going up. Why? Because stem cells, peptides. Everybody's talking about peptides. Stem cells is the bombs, holy grail of healing. The holy grail. Give me that. I'm in for the holy grail. So I started like putting the pieces together, and I was like, this is solid. This is not only solid, this is going to bust through $1 billion soon. And at that point, it was at like 450 when I was looking at the end of 2023. And then I was like, And then I started having dreams, just guidance. The guidance was coming. Go, go, move, move. I was like, oh gosh, am I going to start again? I'm like, I'm going to start again from ground
But
zero. Oh my God.
it was so much easier for me. Gina, our friend Gina, she's like, here, this is Julie's next thing. Wear these and tell me what happens. I was like, okay. I just
Oh,
did it. That's because I trust Gina and I trust you. And I thought, well, if Julie's on it, then I know this is something to pay attention to. And then in 12 hours, no more pain in my body. And I was like, oh, okay, that's very, very, very interesting. Let me have another 12 hours. Let me have a month. Let me just see.
yes.
And it was just so interesting. I wasn't going to do the business, but now I'm thinking, I mean, I tell everybody about it, but I think doing the business makes more sense. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I wouldn't live without the patches. I mean, I love them so much.
Yes. Me too.
So,
Me too. Yeah, it's so wonderful to hear that, Shannon. And we hear that a lot. I hear that a lot with people. They get out of pain very fast. Pain is one of it's so debilitating and it can lead us down dark paths. And there's many
people
kinds of
don't
pain.
even people don't even realize they're in pain though.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I've noticed that people are like, I feel fine. I was like, uh-huh. Yeah, but when you sit down, you're going, ah. And when you're getting up, you're going, ah. And I was doing that like in my 60s. I thought, come on, I sound like I'm 90. And how
Yeah.
do you know how well you could feel, right? You could be
Yes.
the healthiest person on earth. And with the X39 patch, you don't know what it's healing in your body. Like
Yes.
I've been reading all of these stories about people detoxing and things kind of coming out of their bodies because something's going on that they're unaware of at a deeper level. So I find that really fascinating. Yeah.
Very much so, very much so, because we don't know the higher levels. It's just like as we grow in consciousness, we're like, oh, I never realized everything is
Hmm.
all connected. Quantum entanglement, the birds are speaking to you, the flowers talking to you, like everything is interconnected. I mean, and we know this from when we're children, of course, on a very pure level. Like I know, like my house was a madhouse, so I would go in nature, and nature was the place, the peace. And I would be, I'd tell the trees how much I loved them, and they would tell me how much they loved me, and I was like, oh, I'm safe here. Like, this is my home, which is, of course, why I've always worked with energy medicine in terms of nature, because nature's sort of the blueprint. If we talk about the divine source, the handprint of the divine source we see through nature. So my feeling with energy, with anything to do with healing, is go back to nature. What does nature teach us?
Yeah.
The wildlife, and the plant life, the rivers,
It's
everything.
all regenerative, isn't it? And
Yes.
what is what is in your experience and words the underlying mission about LifeWave and its products in your words in a
Mm.
whatever you want to say about it.
Yeah, I would say what really strikes me immediately is it's revealing heaven on earth. It's bringing heaven to earth. It's because it's about alignment, and it's to do with light. It's very, very elegant. It's very, very pure in intention. David Schmidt, the owner and inventor, he's a very, I mean, he's more in the religious, sphere. I would say he will say, "I am a Christian," and he prays, and he's gets these downloads. And as a child, he always thought Jesus was a cool dude because he went healing the world. He was healing
Mhm.
people. And I can remember that from, growing up with a little, Catholicism and everything. I was like, well, I liked that, Jesus was about love, and I liked it,
Yeah,
it was all about healing. He was always
yeah.
healing. So I did love that. So I resonate with that with David. But so David's very humble, but he's like a modern day Tesla. He asks, and the downloads are given, and when they're given, he just works with that and starts developing. So he has over 250 patents. That is very unusual. That's hardly anybody in the entire world has ever had that many, and at least 80 of them are in regenerative medicine. So, he's no dummy, and he understands quantum physics. And when I first heard him speak, he was talking about the magnetic fields, and Dr. Robert Becker's book, The Body Electric. And I was like, that was one of my favorite books. That was a book that switched me on to, energetics and epigenetics and everything I was saying about that, the fact that we can't live without a magnetic field of the planet, and we are electrical beings. We are electrical beings of light. We are light. So, I think it's about helping people reveal for themselves they are the light they seek. We are the light we seek, and to then share that, with others. And you will see that change with people, absolutely categorically, with everyone. They get lighter and lighter and more flowing, because they're getting rid of the stuckness and the darkness and the tragedies and all the things, and they're being able to move forward with their own life to thrive. So his mission is all about, peace on earth. I mean, he'll say it. He says, every Christmas he's asked by his mother-in-law, what would you like for Christmas? And he's like, just peace on earth. That's it. That's what I want. And then they laugh, because how do we create that? One
Yeah,
person at a time.
that's right. Got to
One
start with
act.
yourself first. And, we've
Yes.
taken a lifetime to build up wounding, suppressed things from childhood that we don't understand because we didn't have the full picture as kids. So we carry that with us. Pain that is created because of our mindset and some genetics, maybe, but in my world, everything can be healed.
Yes.
to some level, right?
Absolutely.
Self healing. And I've heard a lot of miraculous stories of people, just changing their diet and getting off of medication. So our body is self-regenerative. So
Yes.
whatever other tool you're going to use in your toolbox to help you prevent any further aging or any further sleep disorders or any further whatever it is that you're trying to move away from, then why not use it, right? So
Yeah.
I'm all about I like to live life fully. So sometimes I'm not always taking care of myself in the best way. Sometimes I take supplements, sometimes I don't. But the patches every day.
Once people really get it, they really realize that they're just like, yeah, I won't go a day without my patches. It's so, so true. Everything is regenerative. And, I feel like there's a couple of places I want to go. One is like how I found my sponsor, just to complete that part of
Yeah,
the
yeah, do
story.
that. Talk about
Okay,
that.
I'll go there first. So, so it started kind of coming in, then the dreams started coming in, and everything was affirming that was the next step on my path. And when you take a big step, you do know you're taking a big step. And
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
myself, and I know when I'm committed, I'm committed. I mean, I'm in. I'm in full tilt because it takes that. It takes your will, your heart, your mind, your everything. So I started realizing this was what I wanted to do, and this is what I was being shown to do. And I am, in my own way, sort of obedient to the divine. When the divine really shows me, I can be very stubborn. Obviously, I was with Nika, and I was very stubborn. I didn't want to leave. But, once I get the picture, I'm like, okay, I give, here we go. So I had to find a sponsor, and I studied a lot of people. I was like, because, network marketing, it is really helpful if you have a sponsor who's going to be aligned with you in partnership, right? It's really helpful. It's not necessary, it's not a have to, but it sure does help. So I looked at a lot of people, and I thought, I want to work with a woman. I want to work with a wise woman. I want to work with a woman who's spiritual like me, and not dogmatic, and really open. And so I started searching, searching, searching. The first thing I'll tell you is when you look at the videos of people that have been on these patches and then before they were on these patches, it is light and day. It
I
is light and
know.
day. I mean, no pun
Testimonials
intended.
alone are like, oh, you can't, like, is that the same person? First of all, everybody looks younger,
Yeah,
but
so much younger,
lighter,
so much lighter,
much
so much
younger,
more
lighter,
vibrant.
healthier, without all of this
Yes,
heaviness in
the
the face.
strain. I know it's like the beauty treatment of the century. Like it's amazing. So I saw that, and then I whittled it down to a few women, because I'd worked a lot with men. I love working with men, but I'd worked a lot with men before, and I was like, no, I'd really like to work with a woman this time, and I love empowering women. So I thought this would be good, and I found this one. So I kind of came down to three people, three women, and then I decided I liked them all. I did. But here was Dr. Stacy Hallweger. And so what happened with Dr. Stacy is she has two PhDs in integrative medicine and functional medicine, which is fabulous and super helpful. And so she's very articulate on the clinical side of things. But that's not why I picked her. And I've told her this. So the reason I ended up choosing her is has two children and lost one. One passed away fairly recently before I came on the scene. And her daughter Taylor had a lot of struggles in life, a lot of struggles, and a lot of brain bleeds, and just really tragic. And I watched old videos, and I saw the love that they had for this child. I was just like, wow, this love is like beyond the beyond. This is like the mother's love you know, that we all wish for, wanted, maybe got, maybe didn't, and hopefully as a mother give it. And I was so touched. And then she passed, and they all got tattoos. And I saw the tattoos, and I was like, I know those tattoos are about Taylor. And indeed, they were a double heart or her name. And I was so moved. And then I felt Taylor around me. I felt her around me a lot. And I thought, she's guiding me. She's guiding me to her mom. And so I asked one night, who's it going to be between these, final sort of three candidates? And I heard her name in my right ear, Stacy, just very soft, Stacy. Now she's known as Dr. Stacy, but I didn't
Yeah.
hear the doctor. I just heard Stacy. And I said, yeah, that's right. She's
Right.
the one. So the next day, I called her up, left her a message because the number was there, Anna found number, and we jumped onto a Zoom call. And so I told her, you don't know who I am, but my name is Julie Tara. Please call me Jules. And I said, I'm coming to you because I'm going to do this business and I'm going to build it internationally and I'm going to build it very big. And I'm just letting you know that. And would you be my sponsor? And the reason is because you've lost your daughter. And I cannot bring your daughter back. However, I do believe I can be a blessing to your life. And I want to be a blessing to your life for you, your son, and your husband.
That's beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
so intense. She started crying. I started crying. I said, we have a divine contract. We've never met before, but I know it. Your daughter's here. She's here with us. She's pulling me toward you. And I know that this is right. And she just said, yeah. And I said, let's
Wow.
do it.
Fastest and easiest brand partner sign up in the universe, I think. Right.
She talks about it. She's like, and then this fairy dropped out of the
Totally.
sky. She always calls me her fairy. She's like, and I said, look, so long as I'm really having fun, I'll do well. But I enjoy having fun with people. I love helping people, of course. And yeah, the first time we met, which she said, can you come to a convention? I said, oh, I don't think so. She said, come, it's in 2 weeks. Magically, things came together. I had enough frequent flyer miles to do the flight. It was incredible. We met. She came to my door of the hotel. We opened the door and we jumped up and down. Shannon, it was amazing. We squealed like 5-year-old girls and jumped up and down and hugged and hugged and hugged. That's a divine appointment. And we have them. We all have them in life. It's so beautiful when we find the person we like. Oh, we have a contract, a good contract, a holy
Mm-hmm.
contract, a contract
Mm-hmm.
to make a big impact in the world together. And so that's what we're doing. And, it's just gone, it's just blossoming.
It's fabulous. I can't wait to see what our contract is because obviously we do. I mean, I think people that you incarnate with, friends and family, have soul contracts, but
Yes.
also people in your outer sphere of people that you meet. Because, you and I are coming back full circle after very many years, right, of no contact whatsoever. And now we're back in the same business again. And I think that's very interesting, the divine timing of all of it. And even all the ballet love and all the shamanic stuff. I mean, there's so many
So
uh,
many
connections.
interweaving connections, right?
Yes. And
Absolutely.
Gina, our mutual dear friend Gina.
I
Uh,
love Gina.
it's
Yeah.
just amazing how the pathways cross and connect everybody.
Yes.
Uh, Sometimes we don't know. Like I'm a real big divine timing person. I think that everything happens in divine time and it helps me through the challenging times when I'm thinking, oh, this isn't working out the way I want it to. And I'm being impatient. I'm just like, well, something better will happen. And this is happening for a reason. I just don't know what it is yet. So I
That's
can
right.
live by that. And it helps me during those challenging times. So
Yes.
I've been with Lifeway for 2.5 years, I guess. And I went to Italy and France in the beginning of June, and I forgot to order my patches because I don't order the same one. I start and stop different ones just to
Okay.
see what's happening because I
Mhm.
like to see if I notice a difference. I can't take the sleep patches anymore because they work too well, and I'm a bit of a night owl, so that just doesn't work for me. But so I didn't have patches for about a month in the end because by the time I got back and ordered them, and for the first couple of weeks I was fine. But then I started noticing my joints aching again, and I thought, wow, okay, wow, really? And then the patches came, and within a day, obviously, no more achy pain in my body. And I was like, right, well, this is crazy. And I did sign up a friend in Italy also because I put pain patches on her leg. She was limping around. I'm like, why are you limping? Oh, my foot hurts from this old surgery. Here's some pain patches. And she's like, oh, it's gone. I'm like, yeah, I know. I, I'm no scientist. I can't speak the science, but it's magic powers. It's
Right. It's
amazing.
the light. It's the light.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Frequencies.
she signed up, and that I think it was this last time of being without patches for about a month and really noticing the difference of not having them. And I thought, this is crazy. I'm sitting on a wonderful that still falls under my umbrella of helping people grow physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah.
and um, and financially. So, can you talk a little bit about that piece?
Sure. I mean, we don't make any medical claims, of course, and we don't make any financial claims because it's all about that alignment. It is all about that alignment. And the universe is abundant. We just have to look outside. I can look outside and see I'm on open space here. Look at my little apple tree. Look at the birds. Look at the it's abundant. But we don't always feel like we're in the flow of that abundance.
Right.
And so the beauty, there's so many things I could say about this. One of the things that I learned as a healer and had my own energy healing practice with crystals and, therapeutic touch work and all the training I had done in macrobiotics and shiatsu massage and everything. What I learned is that when you trade time for money, as much as you love helping people heal, it's very ineffective. And we're not handling the issue of time. So
Mm,
time is, even though there's infinite time and we know we were here, we existed before this incarnation and we know we'll exist beyond. Most people know or feel that because they remember. It's like, well, I was somewhere before and we have inklings and I'm going somewhere after this one. So, however, in this 3D world, we're limited by time. And so how much can you charge somebody for a healing session? 30 pounds, 60 pounds, 100 pounds, but it's limited. And the beauty that people often don't quite see or maybe understand until they do about network marketing is you are leveraging time and compounding effort. So rather than like, say, the people that make a lot of money with stocks and shares and stuff, it takes a lot of money to start that ball rolling to really make millions or billions. Most people don't have that money to start. They don't have that. But in
mm,
this, you start with a low startup cost, a low investment, and then you find some team players, some brand partners, some friends, some people you have divine alignment with, and together you start building a community. So there's the technology, nobody has, everybody needs. That's huge. You've got the compensation plan, you're going to get paid very well for sharing this with others. And again, I never think of selling, I just think of sharing. And you build community. And the more community you build, and we build this most beautiful, we have a stellar community of healers. Most everybody's a healer, most everybody's a woman too. And most of us are 50 and up. And so basically what you're doing is say I said, well, I've got 2 other jobs and I have 10 hours a week. But Shannon has 10 hours a week, and Gina has 10 hours a week, and then Shannon has 10 hours a week. And then, you find 3 people and they have 10 hours a week. Those 10 hours compound, right? And the company pays you a little bit on everything that happens, all the people that fall in love with patches because they get rid of pain and they do other wondrous things, wondrous things, miraculous things, and they want them. So they buy them and the company pays you a thank you. You are not making money from the person. It's not like you, Shannon, you go out and help people with patches and then and then you pay me. No, it doesn't work that way. I make money from you. No, the company says a thank you. It's like affiliate marketing, only it's better, way better, because you're building a team and you're leveraging time, compounding effort. And this is how you make millions. This is how I made millions before and helped many others make millions. Whitney again is the same structure, only with this company, the payout is phenomenal. The company is extremely generous. David Schmidt is such a generous man. And he says, you know, if it weren't for you, the brand partners, we wouldn't exist. You could make the best possible patch in the world to help people heal. And if nobody shares this with anyone, who cares, right? If you
Well,
try
yeah.
to put this on a store shelf, nobody's going to buy it. Why? Because they don't know what the heck it is.
Hmm.
I wouldn't buy it either, right? Right. This is why when I saw this initially, I was like, "That's silly. That's like a little elastoplast, a little band-aid. It's ridiculous. What the heck?"
Well, people ask me to say, well, what's in it? And I know that it's non-transdermal. So no drugs go into you, no chemicals go into you, nothing goes into you, nothing gets on your skin.
Right.
It's all within the patch.
It's all within. Well, we are the light source, so we are the power. And
We're the
then the
patch.
patch has certain frequencies of light that when we put it on, it activates us. It activates the patch, which activates us, activates stems, well, initially activates our peptides. And then from those, particularly GHKCU, copper peptide, it's a very powerful peptide, and the world is talking about peptides right now nonstop. When you activate that, that's considered the fountain of youth. It's the one that makes the hair grow so much stronger and thicker and all the beautiful things, and the skin and the collagen and all the things. Does so many things in the body. And then that in turn activates and stimulates our stem cells. Right now, we work with other things. We have Celergize AM and PM, and there's amino acids in that, and that helps kick off that cascading effect of stem cell production.
That's
So
just
it's
available in
very,
America at the moment. Is that
yes,
right?
it's going to come
That's
soon. Yes, it's
and
coming
the
soon.
water. There's also a
And the
water
water,
filter.
right? Light infused
So,
water, which is what I'm drinking right now.
and
Absolutely
some of the
phenomenal.
skin products are also only available in America. The
Yes,
skin patch is
well,
available here.
every country has different rules, and so the
Yeah.
UK has quite strict rules, rather similar to Canada, actually. Maybe it's a Commonwealth thing, I don't know. But anyway, they have quite strict rules, and so it has to go through its own redevelopment and processing to be a-okay with
Mhm.
your guidelines. But so much happens just with the patch. I mean, this patch,
Really does.
2018 was about, I mean, this patch can do pretty much everything. It's,
That's all I wore for the first month was the X39 patch.
yep,
And I have moles. They're not like real moles, like that could be cancerous. I
yeah,
had checked, but they're moles that kind of sit on top of the skin, almost like skin tags, but they
yes,
look like moles. And
yes,
within 1 month of wearing, or maybe 6 weeks of wearing that X39, three of those fell off of my back.
yep, yep.
And I
I've
was
had that happen too. I've had them just disappear. If you can
cool.
create it, you can discreate it.
You know, like how cool is that? And I
Yes,
thought that was really interesting. And sometimes when you're not in pain, it can be subtle and you don't notice because you're feeling well, right? We notice pain because it's like, oh, this hurts. But then we don't notice when the pain goes
yeah,
away. So sometimes people need to tune into, well, I'm feeling actually wonderful right now. I'm not in pain, right?
right.
Any kind of pain, whatever
Sure,
level it is.
sure. I mean, that's why we have the health tracker, because we give that to people and say, because when you get out of pain, you're going to forget that you were ever in pain, which is a
Mhm.
wonderful thing. Thank goodness, like we have that mechanism in the body that we don't
Yeah.
hold on to it, too much anyway. But we do the health trackers so people can remember, oh, yes, I had this, this, and this. I mean, I was having a lot of low back issues, and I was like, and this I do want to touch on this if about my background, because of your
Yeah, do.
podcast and everything, and just like how things affect us. But just to say, my back was getting worse. I was like, I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm not going to go get it checked out. I'm sure there's a degenerative disc stuff going on or whatever, but I'm going to use these patches. And within 1 month, I used Eon, which is a patch that helps the brain and it reduces inflammation. It's called a happy patch. It's wonderful. I love it. Produces dopamine. Fab. Who doesn't want that naturally? So Eon and X39, and then I added X49, which produces another peptide, AHKCU. It's like a daughter peptide of GHKCU. And that one is specifically for bones and muscles, and athletes use it. And I was like, I know that's going to be huge for me. And I started adding that in after 2 weeks. And by the end of that 1 month, so I'd only been adding that third one in for 2 weeks, my back was completely different. And I was like, holy mackerel, wow, what is that? Because, I work out every day. I've been a dancer all my life. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this doesn't just disappear like this.
Yeah,
Some
your body has taken
scoliosis.
more abuse than most bodies have taken from, ballet. It's not a natural to do ballet because you're all
No, not at
turned out
all.
and hyperextended and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot to put your body through to be a ballerina,
It
certainly.
is. And I had some mild scoliosis. I was diagnosed with that at 17. And I just thought, well, every tree is a different tree and every tree has a different trunk. And I was like, I'm not worried about it. But, as I was getting older, I was like, oh, it is kind of impacting me. And this has changed my spine. There's no question. My spine has changed and my muscular system on my back, where one side was higher than the other because of that issue, that's all changed. That's all evened
I've
out and
seen
flattened.
pictures of
Mhm.
people's scoliosis, that S, like a real visible S spine
Yes.
over a certain amount of time, right? This isn't an overnight thing, right? You have to
Right.
patch for however many
Yes.
however many
A
months.
month for every decade of your life is
That's what I'm
considered
trying to
at least
say.
at least to get our stem cells fully activated
So
so
that we
they can
know
do the
what's
healing.
going on. Yeah, you got to
Mhm.
give it enough of a chance. But I saw these pictures of these S spines like straightening out. Really amazing.
Incredible. I
I
saw
didn't
that
have
too.
anything serious wrong with me. I don't think when I
Right.
started touching,
Good.
but I just felt so well
Yeah.
and filled with energy. I'm sure
And
it helped get out of long COVID also, or
oh,
survive anyway.
definitely.
Mm.
Definitely we see that a lot. And stem cells are the bomb because they'll go anywhere and everywhere that the healing needs to happen. So we don't have control over where they go. What we do have the control with the patches is to stimulate. It's a signaling device. This is what this is. It's a signaling device, right? It's going to signal our body to do certain things. Do this, do that. Did you forget? And it's reminding us what we used to do at 10, 15, 20 years old when we were at the kind of top of our game, always with healing. We would heal so fast, right? Drop out of a tree, fall off your bicycle, you'd heal in seconds, pretty much, or minutes, or at least a day. So it's the stem cells are really what's doing it. So our body's doing the healing. Our bodies are very intelligent. The body, mind, spirit is so intelligent. That's what I so love about regenerative medicine is it's honoring the intelligence of the body, mind, spirit. It says you know how to heal, you just need some signaling. You just forgot. That's all, we just need to re-signal the body. And so that's what we do with this, which is why I find it so elegant and also so graceful, because you're not trying to force the body to do anything. You're just allowing, stimulating, saying, we're like a little angel whispering in your ear, remember this? Remember how you used to heal that? And the body starts remembering and it'll do it. The stem cells will
I
do everything.
I love that the divine alignment of what the patches create in your body, right? A remembering
Yes.
flow, energetic flow, because our bodies have to flow. Things, energy can't be stuck, right? That's my whole bag. But
Yes.
that the patches get you into that divine alignment. And then if you're in divine alignment, then you can move forward with whatever else that you need to flow in life. And a lot of clients come to me and they're like, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. And that's because they're out of alignment over here, trying to move forward. You're not going to move forward if you're out of alignment. So, what
Yes.
if you have physical things in your body that you don't know about that are
Mm,
going on at a cellular level that you don't know?
absolutely.
Why not wear a patch that's going to work on that and prevent you from anything developing further? I mean, I've seen
For sure.
people get out of severe pain when they have all the nerves, neuropathy, like on the ends
Mm,
of their fingers
mm,
and stuff, reading these testimonials. And
mm.
it fascinates me.
Yeah.
It fascinates me that there's an answer to this. And
The beauty of the universe, my love. It's the beauty of the universe. It's the beauty of creation. When
And
we
I
tap
I
into
see this,
that,
yeah, I see this as an extra really amazing tool. Like if you
yes,
have a modality, a healing modality that works for you, or a diet or whatever it is that you're doing in your life to keep you woo going full throttle, great. but do you want to keep going full throttle into your 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds?
Yes,
I want to.
absolutely. Well, definitely. I've been doing some ancestry work because literally my niece said, "I'm doing this, do it too." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll do it." And my great granny lived to be 102. You know, I always remember. I loved my great granny. She was just a bright, bright, bright spirit. And you know, my family all English, Irish, Welsh, a lot of Welsh, which you know makes I love that. And it's not about just living long. It's not just about longevity. It's about the beauty is if we are thriving, we can live our purpose and mission. You know I'll never retire because I think retirement is not a good idea. We are
Yeah.
here to do things. We have a mission that we came to do. We want to fulfill it. And my mission's never going to end. You know, to help alleviate suffering and uplift the human spirit, it's never going to end. And it'll go on beyond this lifetime too. And that's great. I mean, I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. So I'll never retire like that. Doesn't mean I don't love traveling the world and taking time to go look at, you know, whatever, all the stone circles and, you know, whatever else. But I think it's not just about looking pretty and all, and that's nice, that's great, but it's really about purpose and mission. We're here for this time frame. We don't know how long we have. We don't. None of us do. It could be tomorrow, boop, done, finished, here, on to the next thing. It could be, you know, 30 years from now, like my great granny, you know, and I think of her and I think, okay, I'm going to be 70, and she was 102. It's that 70s, 80s, 90s. There's three more
Another full
decades of
life.
it. What am I going to
Yeah.
do? What am I going to do? You know, so exciting, right? But my mom died at, you know, 70, I think she was 72, 73. My dad was 78. When I look at my ancestry, there's some people died, you know, in their 50s. I was like, oh, I wonder what happened there. You know, you don't get all that info, but it's very interesting. But just to touch on that for just a second, as I know we don't have a lot of time, but when I grew up with doctors. My father was a well-known Western doctor. My stepfather later was the GP in Cambridge, England. Everybody knew him. And my stepbrothers were all doctors, right? Four of them.
Wow.
And I grew up with Western medicine, and I was very interested because I'm a very curious person. I think curiosity is terribly important, and I am naturally curious. So, you know, I'd go with my dad to the anatomy department, and he'd show me things, and I'm like, why this and why that? I was the why child, you know, why does this happen? But my mother had, she was a very intelligent, smart, brilliant, you know, classical musician, concert level pianist, singer, actress, working woman, fabulous, gorgeous to look at, intelligent, so intelligent. And then she had a bad back, and then she started getting surgeries on the back, and then she started taking pills for pain, and then she started taking pills to sleep, and then pills to wake up, and then pills for depression, and then pills for anxiety. And she ended up being incarcerated in mental hospitals outside of Cambridge. And electric shock treatment was very popular, and
Oh
she
my
had a lot of it.
God.
So I saw
Wow.
that go down, right, with my mom, and she became a different person. And then I heard all the labeling. Oh, she has bipolar. Oh, she's got manic depression. Oh, she's schizophrenic. Oh, she's got this, that, the other, everything. So then I was like, something's really wrong here. And I was like, mommy, 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 when I was little, you would feel so much better if you stopped taking all those pills and let's go in nature.
You just
And
knew it.
the universe kept saying, you know, I could hear, pay attention, pay attention. I was like, I am paying attention, and this is rubbish. What's happening here? This is rubbish. And my father said when I was about 17, you'll probably have mental illness like your mom. And I said, how dare you give me that prognosis? I will
Yeah.
not have mental illness. She wouldn't have had mental illness if she wasn't on all those drugs and all those electric shock treatments.
Well,
And
she
she was
didn't
never the
have
same
mental
again.
illness. She didn't have mental
She did
illness.
not have mental illness. She became a pharmaceutical druggie. She was a drug
Yeah.
addict. She ended up being a drug addict on pethidine, which is a heroin derivative. So the
Wow.
injections, my stepfather she would scream, he would inject, she would go all floppy, and she was a drug addict. And I love
Wow.
my mom, but this is the lesson of what I learned was do never give your power away. Stay sovereign to yourself. Do not give the power of your body, your mind, your spirit to anyone or anything. other than your connection to the divine, which is where you're going to get your truth. And I'm very much about the truth. And now the truth is coming out about psych meds. A lot of it's coming out. And I'm listening because I'm looking and I'm like, I knew this all along since I was 4 years old. I knew this
Wow.
was so.
I feel my mother also died because of prescription pharmaceuticals. She had a bursa on her hip. I don't even know if that was ever taken care of. And one thing after the next over years. And I just saw her disappear into the system, died at 77, you know.
I'm so
So
sorry. It's a very
I think
sobering background for
it,
us, but it's a learning for all of us. Take
it is.
control,
Yeah.
learn, be curious, be smart, be smart.
Yeah. Be
Don't take all
smart.
those drugs that people say you should have. Don't, it's all these labels that you have this and that, you got to do. No, no, we have to really be sovereign. That is the word. I think that is the most important word. Don't give your power away to anyone about anything.
Yeah,
Not
I
your
agree.
money, not your
No.
health, nothing. You take it on with the divine. You're not alone, and you can create miracles, and you will, and
And
absolutely you will.
and LifeWave, I mean, it's a global company, so there's regular retreats all year for that anybody can attend, so that there's a
Yes,
real community, even if you're alone in this business, you're not going to be alone for long.
you'll never
Uh,
be alone. Somebody's your sponsor, and you'll never be alone. And yes, it's a wonderful community. And lots of people don't build the business, but they use the technology, and that's great. We love it. And there's no right or wrong, and there's no have to. You're your own boss, but you get to work with others and you get mentored. If you want mentoring, you have it. So I love mentoring. I love coaching. It's a pleasure and an honor because if I can help one person not go the route of my mother or my elder sister, both of them. So I lost
yeah.
two women in my family of five of us. Very sobering, right? So if I can help one
Yeah.
person to not go that route,
Deeper why, right? Why you do things.
yeah.
So if somebody wanted more information about LifeWave and to join, I usually give them my LifeWave ID number so that they can read about the patches and everything
Of
like
course.
that. And they
Yes.
can even sign up on that page if they want to.
Yes.
Or you can book a call with me, or you can book a call with Julie. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah,
is my
absolutely.
upline. So
Yes, I'm absolutely here to help you all. And I would love to be my honor. And, I think you can see what a redemption it is. So if it's about the healing, it's there for you. If it's about the money and you're a healer, let me tell you, we're almost all healers and it's life-changing financially, life-changing. And that is going to give you liberation. Money is simply to give you freedom. It's freedom. You can travel the world. You can do what you want. You can go where you want, work with whom you want. So that's the power of the money is the freedom, not love of money, but the freedom that it gives you of the abundance because the universe is abundant and so are we. So let's claim that.
well, let's claim that. I really like that. I love divine alignment in body, mind, spirit, and finances, and divine timing in the universe, which is now. There's no better time in the universe than to take charge of your life on every aspect than now, so that you can feel empowered in a world that needs some more light workers out there
Yeah.
facing forward and help pulling everybody else along with them. Julie, it's been such a pleasure and honor to have you with me today speaking about LifeWave and joining this beautiful company. Thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Shannon, it is my joy. Thank you so much for inviting me. So much love to you and so many blessings to everyone who hears this.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Lots of love. Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
You have been listening to Beyond Birth Trauma From Burden to Brilliance with Shannon O'Flaherty on Transformation Talk Radio. On the second Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, we connect the dots between your ancestors, your birth, and the patterns that keep you stuck, guiding you to a place of profound healing and unstoppable brilliance. By examining and healing your cellular imprint from birth of how you perceive and respond to the world and the challenges that are created in your day-to-day life, we can begin to heal and live more balanced and fulfilling lives. For more information, visit shannonbtb.com. That's shannonbtb.com.